Good afternoon. I am Valley Anderson. Welcome back to our third and final episode of season 32, Inspire Your Best Life with Dr. Sergio Khanna. We are glad to have Athena Carrillo as our co-host for this season. Priya will be back next week. I just want to reemphasize how our episodes work. Weekly topics are broken down into 3 episodes with a workshop at the end of the month. This week's topic was spending time in nature, and today we talk about how you can help the environment. Dr. Khanna is a servant of the underserved and an advocate for the Post-Incarceration Juvenile Justice Reformation Act. As we all know, he launched the Returning Youth Initiative to restore the lives of post-incarcerated young adults, giving them the opportunity to reintegrate back into society. In order to know more about this initiative, please visit our website, returningyouth.com. How are you doing today, Dr. Khanna?
Good afternoon, Valley, and good afternoon, Athena. And thank you very much for hosting this third episode of season 32. And today's topic, we will be concentrating on how you can help the environment, which is pretty important. Because last 2 days, we spoke about different aspects of the environment, but now let us talk about how can we help the environment, how we can restore the environment so that it does not become polluted. Well, best thing you can do to restore the environment is start your own garden. That also ties up to the last two episodes we have been talking about being outside and what the environment gives you. So this kind of ties, today's topic ties up to by doing a start your own garden. Well, what does the garden do to you when you go and start your own garden? Well, first one is you have to be outside to start your own garden. You cannot start your own garden inside the house. Of course, nowadays you can do it with the hydroponic things, but still you need sunlight. So it's better that you go outside with your earth, play with the earth, okay? Because you need your body to touch the earth. You need the sunlight to touch your body. So start your own garden. Pick up a small area in your backyard or your front yard. Or if you don't have a backyard, don't have a front yard, if you have a small balcony, and get to the Home Depot, get a small square, kind of pot, and get some earth into it and start doing your own garden. Start growing your own vegetables. Start growing your own fruits and flowers. Whatever you feel like doing it, do that. Because what does that do? It helps create the habitat for the other animals like birds, insects, which play an important role in the environment. And on top of that, when you plant, the plant absorbs carbon dioxide, right? So it takes carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen, which we need for our breathing. The picture which you see in this slide is a garden that has been done by one of our board member in Montana, who is a Returning Youth Initiatives board member of Hamilton, Montana. That garden is in her backyard. So that garden was done by a lot of young kids, including, I think Valley and Athena also contributed something into that garden and touched their finger, touched their leg in order to make the garden fruitive. So they did touch. So that helps because global warming, we're talking about global warming, we're talking about environmental change, we're talking about pollution. All these things can be controlled by a small effort. If everybody, those who are listening to this episode or will be listening to the episode, if they get inspired to start their own garden, then you know what? We can control the environment. We don't have to spend billions of dollars. Every individual, every household, if in their backyard can start, or in their front yard, they can start a small garden. It doesn't have to be big, a very small garden. Then we can do a miracle to save this earth from all this pollution. Valley, you being the co-speaker here today, do you have anything to add that how we can give back to the environment?
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about recycling as
Wow,
it's
that's
very
interesting.
important. So when you reuse materials like plastic or paper, those kind of things, it saves production and energy costs because then we're not like extracting from like raw materials, which when we do that, it creates pollution in our water and in our air. So just throwing by recycling, reusing our things, we don't have to do that as often. And also when you recycle, it helps keep trash out of landfills. So less trash is going into our water and in random areas of our land. So it's very important to recycle.
Thank you very much, Valley, for adding that element of recycle in this episode, because it is very important that if we are doing something with the environment, we need to control by not just dumping anything to the earth. We need to be very conscious about what we bring, what we add to the earth. Like the last episode yesterday, we are talking about the natural resources, the oil, the drinking water, everything comes from nature, from the environment. And if we add this plastic, the chemicals in the soil, it really undermines the whole environmental and pollution forbidden consciousness. So we have to be very conscious about this particular aspect of how to add values to the environment. Well, in this episode, we kind of this in this season 32, we covered quite a bit of information to the audience, and especially in this episode, we kind of concentrated on environment, how to save, how going out helps us, and then what are we doing with the environment, and how we can save the earth by adding value to the environment. So I think this particular season 32 spoke more about environmental stuff and how we can restore it. Again, thank you, Athena, and thank you, Valley, for hosting this wonderful season 32.
Thank you, Dr. Khanna, for this informative episode of Inspire Your Best Life. I am Athena Carrillo and would like to thank you for tuning in to today's discussion focused on benefits of spending more time outside. We hope you were able to take something away from today's session and are a little closer to finding your own personal summit. Stay tuned for next week's season. And please make sure to visit returningyouth.com to hear more about the recent activities of the initiative for the post-incarcerated young adults. You can also view all of our past videos for this series at inspireyourbestlife.com. Thank you, have an amazing day, and we'll see you again soon.